Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast. I'm Rose, and I'm a content creator going by the handle Cheap Lazy Vegan, and I also own a vegan cafe by the same name as the podcast, which is SaVeg Cafe.
And I'm Daniel, also a vegan, and one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends currently living in different countries, and we'll be giving our savage take on all things life, veganism, and the latest trending topics.
So basically, whatever comes to our minds, because we love to talk.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Well, hello there.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode, a not live, but
kind of a live episode.
Yeah, of the SaVeg Podcast.
An in-person episode of the SaVeg Podcast.
It's
guys.
Crazy.
We are here.
It took us a while to get here. I mean, we had some serious technical issues just now.
Oh my God, we had to figure out how to record this, in person.
Yeah.
So I apologize in advance if the sound is wonky.
Yeah.
We tried.
We're still figuring it out, but this can be like probably the new format of the podcast.
Damn, we be in person.
This is weird.
It's so weird.
God
Usually
damn.
I'm used to hearing Daniel in my ear.
Yeah. No, me as well, because I always have my headphones and like.
So it feels weird to hear this like live voice,
Damn, but it's nice.
Well,
It's really
Daniel's
nice.
back. Officially back. He is out of quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
We are here. We are in good old Calgary.
We are, yes. I
The
survived.
Texas of Canada.
The Texas. Oh, god damn. That's so true.
Daniel, what do we got here on this table next to me?
We got some wine.
Oh, god damn. Guys, we had to celebrate,
Yeah. It had to happen.
It had to happen. We promised you we're going to do a drunk episode in
Cheers.
person.
Yep.
Cheers, guys. I mean, not going to lie, we did meet up for drinks already and got drunk together.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very nice evening, Just went for a nice little walk around.
Oh my God, you guys. Okay, well, first of all, we probably will have a different setting, like different background.
Yeah.
We're sitting in my living room. This is my roommate's like work desk.
Mm-hmm.
Just bear with us, okay?
Yeah.
It's like you were sitting in the living room with us. We wanted you to have this experience.
You're experiencing, this is like what we would do on like a Friday night, isn't it?
Exactly. Goddamn,
Yeah.
me sitting like this, like a lady. You know what I'm saying?
Like
a lady.
Like spread eagle. God damn, Rose.
It's all about the comfort. You know
this
what
is
I'm
true.
saying? Anyways.
This is very true.
Well, we don't have a topic.
This is, what we were going to do is
Happy hour.
Yeah, happy hour. Have like a little life update as to what's going on in our lives.
Well, actually recently I was listening to it's our most recent, like our previous podcast, which is the Japanese.
Yes. Yeah.
The Japan dating one.
Yeah.
And goddamn, we'd be hilarious. I was walking and listening because I like to listen to I try to listen to the episodes before they go live, but I don't always get a chance to. But I was listening to it and I was like just dying laughing.
I know. Well, I mean, because that episode is obviously going to come out before this one, so you guys will see that. But like,
I mean, maybe I'm the only one that finds me funny.
Yeah. Well, I think other people find us funny too sometimes.
Are we funnies?
Yeah. Maybe leave it in the comment section.
Oh God, don't leave some nasty comments.
I know they're gonna be like, you guys are so annoying. Like, what is your deal?
Oh my God, seriously.
But yeah, that honestly, that Japanese the episode we did on Japan was like.
Well, I was thinking, I'm like, God damn, is this our future? Because Japan, maybe they might be ahead of our times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the thing. I think a lot of what's happening in Japan, because they are so like technologically advanced and like, a lot of, because they say a lot of people even now are moving from more rural places into the cities, but that kind of already has happened so much in Japan, right? Like most of the population lives in like the big cities, I think. And so it's kind of like, this is the direction that we're going. So, and also with technology, they're saying like, like the younger generation, I feel like they're not that bad, but they're getting worse at communicating in person.
Mm-hmm.
So
remember, because we talked about it as well, because like we talked about how, for example, if you're in a room and you have a bunch of people sitting there, the younger the people are, the more likely they're going to be just like on their phones.
Exactly. So this is the thing. It's
God damn. And even with our friends, sometimes, like, do you notice, like, if you're in a big group or something, sometimes, depending on the friends, there's sometimes times when, like, it feels like everyone's just on their phone.
That's so true.
And you're just like, and I hate that. So I, like, make my friends, like, put down their phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, no more phone.
Exactly. Put it away. Well, I did the same thing. Like, me and my family will go out for dinner or something. And, like, yeah, if anyone like it's usually my little brother. If he's on his phone, I'll be like, get off your phone now.
He's younger. See, it's like a new thing. God damn, this be a problem.
This be sad because it does remove that, like, in some ways, obviously, like, not completely, but it's like removing that like human level of interaction because you're interacting with like a screen, or not a screen, but like
and you're not actually living in that moment because you're just living through your screen. Yeah. And you're just, instead of actually having the in-person interaction. God damn, you'd be talking to some screen.
I know. We talking to a screen right now.
We talking to this screen. I ain't talking to a screen over here.
That's true. You're talking to all this, this.
Guys, I had a couple beers already,
Gosh. Well, Rose has sobered up a little bit, I made her drink some water and,
we had some pizza.
Yeah.
We ordered some vegan pizza.
Oh, the vegan pizzas from Panago are so good.
So good.
Yeah.
I think it's a Canadian thing. I don't think they can get it in the U.S.
Oh, really? Is Panago not a U.S. company?
Yeah, but they might not have the plant-based pizzas. Actually, I'm not sure.
Maybe they do. I don't know. But it's amazing because, like, you just think about, I don't know if this is another side note, but like even in the last couple of years, how much, and I'm not saying like we should get takeaway a lot, but like how it's changed that we can do it now. Do you know what I mean?
But now we're going to be fat because of this.
Dang.
Because I feel like before it was actually, people are always like, oh, did you lose weight when you went vegan? Because like people think it's like a weight loss thing, right?
Yeah.
But then I think actually it did help before that I was vegan. So for example, like when I first went vegan, because you're just kind of not forced to, but because you're already deciding to not, have like the office cake, for example, when you're working in an office, you're not going to eat the cake. Are you okay, Daniel? Do you need help? Do you need help being comfortable?
No, I just wanted to get myself situated.
Anyways, so when you're like at the office and everyone's having cake and for a fact that it's not vegan, so you're not going to eat it. And like, I don't know, I don't get like tempted because I know it's not vegan.
Exactly.
But now, and when you were to eat out or whatever, most of the options are pretty healthy because that's kind of what were the vegan options, because that's kind of like what people think is vegan food.
Even in the beginning, like I feel like in London, when I was there, even when I first went vegan and I was living with you, it was starting to get more options for us, but it wasn't quite there yet. So I do remember that the first while, especially like the office stuff, because there's always snacks in the office and candies and all of this stuff, and you just don't have that stuff anymore. So it is kind of like, oh, you're like, losing weight or whatever else. But then now, like as time is going forward, I mean, I'm not complaining.
We're gonna be fat. Yeah, we're gonna be fat just like the rest of society.
Exactly. We can get pizzas now, and
that's what I'm saying.
Isn't there like a Chinese food place as well that does like?
Oh yes, and it's very good.
Is it?
See, that's the problem now, because I mean, this is the problem.
Human
beings, we will complain no matter what, right?
Exactly.
I complain when there's no junk food, and then I complain when there's junk food.
The grass is always greener on the other side, Rose,
I'm going to complain again because now, seriously, everything is junk food.
Yeah.
And in some ways, it was again, grass is always greener.
Yeah.
It was nice that, I could almost, have a healthy diet without trying almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened naturally because you were like, oh, well, I can't have the cake in the office. I can't do this and whatever else. And actually, I remember when I was working in London, one of my coworkers, they were like, oh, we found this really great like coffee shop. And they did these amazing coffees. For whatever reason, really good coffee shops happen to be in bike shops as well. It was like a thing. I don't know what it was.
It's like a thing in London where it's like a very hipstery thing where they have like a bike shop. And then like in the bike shop, there's like the hippest, coffee shop.
So I remember they came back, and I remember one person came back and they were like, oh my God, Daniel, they have a vegan chocolate avocado cake or something.
Oh God.
And it was so good. And I remember being like,
you ate it every day.
Not every day, but I was like, I would get it quite a bit. And I was like, I wish that I did not know about this, because now I'm like always, and because it was so creamy and so good.
Dang,
and
you guys control your sales.
I can't control myself. Okay. I'm very much like I have a healthy appetite already, so I'm never like not eating that much, but I'm so bad at like munching. So like if there's things for me to eat,
right,
then I just keep eating and I have like no stop.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so bad.
I'm the same. Yeah.
It was like I was telling Rose while I was in quarantine. So I had to quarantine for 14 days while I was here, right?
Oh my God.
And I ate so much food, first of all.
I'm gonna read the list.
Oh God.
Can I read the list?
Okay, it's embarrassing.
Daniel's so funny. So he came out of his quarantine and then he sent me the list of food that he ate. I don't even know how you had this list to begin with.
Well, it's because, the reason why I knew exactly what I ate is because my parents, they were like so cute. So they went and got a bunch of groceries and they like filled up because we have like a separate basement kind of suite with its own kitchen and stuff. So they like stocked the kitchen for me because they knew I was going to be down there for 14 days. So on arrival, I kind of like had an idea of what was there because there was like an inventory. And because I never was getting more stuff, I wasn't going out grocery shopping or anything. I just kept seeing the food go down and down. And then towards the end, I was like, oh my God. Like I almost had in 2 weeks a kilogram of peanut butter.
Well, let me read you. Daniel sent me, for those of you watching on, I don't know, is there anything inappropriate? No. Oh, yeah. This is the list of products that Daniel sent. Mm-hmm. So let me just read you what he sent me.
Oh,
first of all, did not ask for this list. Daniel just voluntarily provided this list.
No, you did say, what did you eat?
What did... I did say, what did you eat? But I was not expecting an entire food diary. But
she didn't expect the full week,
but
day by day.
It was very great at the same time. So let me read you. He said, almost 1 kilogram tub of peanut butter.
Oh, God.
2 loaves of bread. 18 wraps.
It's so bad.
A&W Beyond Meal 2 times.
Yep.
Medium Panago pizza.
Yep.
2 ready meal Thai curries. Thai chicken. This is like vegan chicken, obviously.
Yeah.
1 liter orange juice and apple juice. I assuming that's 1 liter each.
Yep.
Okay. Nearly 3 times 1.89 liters of almond milk. So almost 6 liters of almond milk.
Yep.
2 tubs of hummus.
Yep.
Probably 5 smoothies,
yep.
pasta dish, 3 more homemade curries.
Yep.
1 tub peanut butter chocolate ice cream.
Yep.
3 avocados, 6 bananas, 2 bottles of wine, 500 milliliters of tomato juice,
mm-hmm.
loads of nuts, 1 bag of chips, 1 big bag of chips.
Yeah, big one.
3 soya lattes, countless coffees, and I bet you're missing a lot that you don't even realize.
But okay, but there was a point to this. So we were talking about how we were getting like takeaway and stuff now. So during my 14-day quarantine, you know, and I feel like any time that you're in quarantine, and I feel like everyone kind of across the world has experienced this, you go through like a mix of emotions. And I was having like a day where I was just like, you know what? I'm not really feeling the best about this quarantine situation. So I ordered myself a Panago pizza, medium, and I ordered it for lunch. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm only going to have, well, I didn't say I'm only going to, I started eating and I had a few pieces. Already started to feel a bit full. And I was like, oh, great. I can have some of this pizza for dinner. I can have maybe some for tomorrow for lunch. You know, there's just so much pizza here. And as I'm sitting and watching TV, I continue to eat the pizza and continue to eat the pizza. And then there was like 2 pieces left and I actually felt sick at this point. And I was like, hey, I shouldn't have any more of this pizza. You know, but I ate the last 2 pieces.
Oh, shit.
I know.
It's fine. We all have those moments. It's okay. We have those moments. The whole point is that we just move forward.
True.
Yes.
I think a part of it too, not why I was getting down, like just like being in lockdown. And then also I already talked about this in the last podcast. I ranted about,
oh God, are you going to rant about how you don't have a job?
No, okay. I won't rant about that, but that's another situation. But anyway,
I'm going to fucking kill you if you rant about that again.
You're sick of hearing about that. No, but I was like also on the dating apps because I was like, I need to line some stuff up. And I was like getting fucking depressed on these dating apps. Not depressed, but like Daniel. Just more frustrated. And it's like, you know what? Calgary's a big city, you know? And well, but I mean, there's people here. And I was just like, everyone was being so lame on these apps and not messaging back. And I was just like, oh God, is this going to be the reality of what my life has become?
Well, Daniel, at the end of the day, you just need one.
That's true.
You just got to catch one.
So optimistic of you.
Yeah, I am. I'm being optimistic. Here's the thing. You just got to... first of all, it's going to be a numbers game at first. You got to, but at the same time,
currently
the jam theory.
I know, but currently I'm not doing good in the numbers game either because I can't even catch one. Don't know what's wrong with me.
It's not you. It's definitely not you. We all know it's not Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Right, guys?
Tell him, guys. Tell him. No, but again, you've been back for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're just out of quarantine.
Exactly.
Has it been a week now since you've been out of quarantine?
No.
Almost a week.
So
he's already gotten drunk 3 times.
Oh my God. This is a write-off week though, because it's like
yes.
I'm out of quarantine. I'm seeing everyone.
But also you're out of control.
No, I mean, God, I'm not. Okay, I wasn't that drunk every single time.
Daniel's a bit out of control.
And how was it 3 times?
So what happened that time when you had to go paint your parents' house?
Oh God.
Want to tell that story, Daniel?
So my parents decided, because I'm home right now, they wanted to like paint the outside of their house.
They wanted to exploit your free labor.
Exactly. They're like, we want to work on this project. You're home. You're out. And then they planned it perfectly. They're like, you'll be out of quarantine this week, so you can come upstairs and we're going to paint the
Well, Daniel, you'll be living in their basement free of charge.
This is true,
so you better do the work.
No, exactly. What
ain't nothing like a free lunch, you
exactly.
know?
Ain't no free rides
lunch
in this world, you know? Rose is going to come up with the terms and conditions of the pizza that we just had later.
Yes. Let me write up the contract.
Oh, damn, I already ate it. I can't do anything now. You know, I'm committed.
I'll pay for that pizza, Daniels. You got to pay for something later.
You know I have commitment issues. But they were just like, anyway, they decided to paint their house. And so my dad's like, okay, I know you're going to be busy catching up with friends and doing whatever else, but let's set aside some time. And I was like, yep, let's do it. He's like, okay, so Thursday and Friday from 9 a.m. till like 3, we're going to paint the house together. And I said, perfect. So then on the Wednesday, I met up with one of my friends, ended up at this like little pub and a local pub
in some tiny neighborhood. Was it?
It wasn't that tiny.
Or some it's a suburban neighborhood.
Yeah. Suburban neighborhood, and just ended up having one too many because, you know, as you catch up with friends you haven't seen for a while,
Daniel always has one too many.
God damn. And then people would think I'm an alcoholic.
Again, Daniel, what do I always say?
It's not an opinion.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. And so, yeah, anyway, got out of control, and not out of control, just like really drunk. And then I stayed at my friend's house because they were living in the far, like not far south, but like pretty far south. And called my parents in the morning, my dad at like 10, and was like, "Hey, Dad, can you come pick me up?" And I was supposed to start
like a 17-year-old
I know,
boy.
And he was like, we were supposed to start the painting an hour ago.
No.
But anyway, I worked really hard the last couple of days, so I made up for it. Yeah,
good.
I was like today, I was like slaving. I was like covered in paint earlier,
well,
and
Daniel, again, you got to pay your dues.
This is it. You know, they're letting me stay there for free, so. I gotta get my shit together.
Oh God. So, are we gonna line up some dates for Daniel?
Oh yeah, we are. This is what's gonna happen. This is the plan. Okay, I wanted to, but at the same time, I'm like,
okay, I think you should focus on getting a job.
Yeah, that's the number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can focus on finding a place.
Yeah.
Living near me.
Downtown.
God damn.
We might even be neighbors, guys.
I want Daniel to live like either in this building or the building next door, basically.
We were saying like one of the things is like a lot of the like condos in Calgary, they have like amenities, right? And each building has like slightly different. Some of them have the similar, but you know. And we're like, we should get friends in as many of these condo buildings so we can utilize all of the facilities. And this one downtown has like a rooftop swimming pool, like it's on the 5th floor or something, and it looks so nice. And
so I want Daniel to move there, basically.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. You know, maybe this will be an update for the podcast later.
Oh goddamn! You don't want to tell people where you live.
No, that's true. God damn.
You want these people to come stalk you?
No one would do that. I'm not special enough, you know.
That's true.
I can't even get one guy to meet me from Tinder, okay? Let alone stalk me from the internet, okay?
Oh
I'm
God.
not concerned, okay?
Oh, you know what? We need to continue from last time's conversation.
What was this?
The Argentina romance.
Oh, the situations that happen
and
in
how
Argentina.
it's like literally opposite of Japan.
Yeah. Should we go into that?
Yeah, let's go into that.
Wow.
Do you remember the details?
Oh, God damn, I have some notes.
In your phone?
No, on my computer.
On your
No, but like basically, let's see.
We don't have to talk about it now. We can talk about it next time.
Okay, I think we should save that trinket for
Well, basically the short version is that in Argentina, specifically Buenos Aires.
I love the way Rose says that.
It's
Buenos Aires.
How do I say it in a Spanish accent?
I don't actually know. It's
Buenos Aires.
I think that sounds really good.
Okay.
You know?
Anyway, so in Buenos Aires.
Ooh. Giving me chills.
Oh, people are horny as hell.
They'd be crazy as hell. But one of the things, like I feel like we shouldn't go into it right now because I want to have my notes up and go fully.
Okay.
But one of the things
I didn't realize you're such a diligent student. So far, you haven't been doing a good job. But
Excuse
okay.
me, I had so many notes on Japan. I had notes coming out my yin yang, and Rose was questioning my notes as well. This is the best part.
Like, are you sure that's Japan?
No, that's not Japan. I remember this was the Middle East. No, Rose, I literally just listened to it yesterday. This section, no, Daniel.
Guys, the thing is,
that's not right. Definitely, that's not right.
I'm such a bitch.
I was like, oh God, like seriously.
I do this to all my friends. I'm always like, are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Like Angela's cooking. I'm like, are you sure you know what you're doing? Same with Daniel. Every time Daniel goes, Daniel, God. Are you sure you want to do that?
Like,
oh God, what is wrong with me?
You question everything, Rose. In some ways it's good to like question it, but in other ways it's like, okay, come on, seriously. Like, please have some faith. Trust in me.
Oh God, I'm just a bitch.
You know, trust.
Anyway,
trust
so yeah, Argentina, I guess we're going to talk about that next time.
That will be for the next episode. It will be a little episode.
Have you been to Argentina?
I haven't yet, no.
Should we go to Argentina?
I want to go.
God damn.
Should we book a trip? When the COVID...
Did I tell you, did I tell this podcast what my dad says about Argentina?
I think you have, but I think it was on a much earlier episode. So I think
maybe it was on a Patreon exclusive.
Oh, it might have been.
Oh shit, should I tell this story?
I think you should. Because it's a good story. And it's actually, it's part of the reason why me and Rose want to go to Argentina.
So my dad's a bit crazy.
No, he's just like...
he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And so my parents, traditionally, right, Korean parents are very conservative.
Yeah.
And a lot of times Korean kids have a problem, like Korean immigrants. So like kids of Korean immigrants have this issue where their parents don't want them dating outside of Koreans.
Yeah.
So they don't want their kids to, date outside of the pure Korean race.
Which, to be honest, in Korea, that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Because in Korea, you're going to have so many Korean options. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not, it actually would be harder for you to probably date somebody that's not, I know there's expats there and stuff as well.
There's not that many.
But this is why I do think it's interesting because like, it's not just Korea, though. It's a lot of international parents that like come to Canada or... Oh, God damn. I just feel like it's like more cozy, having a little...
continue.
Oh, God damn, I need to get my...
Why do you keep putting your wine down? Goddamn, just keep holding it.
Yeah,
well, just don't spill it.
I'm scared, honestly.
For those of you that don't know, we're drinking wine. Did we say that already?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, continue.
We did. Rose is already drunk.
I'll be drinking.
No, but it's a really interesting one because like a lot of my friends that are from different backgrounds, they've had this where their parents wanted them to date like a Korean or whatever else who like
right. Yeah, it's not just Koreans. It's a lot of different cultures.
Because one of my friends was from I think it's India.
Yeah, Indians are very big on that too.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's like, okay, if we were growing up in those countries, it does make sense. Like it makes a bit more sense for your parents to be like in Korea because there's not going to be that many other options other than Koreans, right? Right. But when you move to another country, like such as Canada or US, it's like actually there is other Koreans here, but the population here is not anywhere like it would be in Korea, obviously. And it means you're like giving your children limited options.
Yeah, there's only 3 flavors of jam.
Exactly. You can't deal with that,
And the thing is, you're also not just not giving people... It's not just about, the dating pool or how many people there are, but also the fact that your kids are growing up in a society that isn't Korea.
Exactly.
So you can't expect them to have this preference of Korean culture when they're not growing up in that Korean culture.
Exactly.
So they grow up with like, a mixture of obviously some Korean culture from their household.
Yeah.
But also they go to school and meet other people of different cultures.
Yeah.
And they experience and they meet people of all types of races and who knows what they might fall for.
Yeah.
And the problem is, a lot of Korean parents, and Korea is very guilty of this. I know Korea is not the only culture, but I know Koreans are very heavily like obsessed with this about like, oh, you must, marry a Korean. And some parents will, eventually accept that their kids won't. Yeah. And some parents just will never accept it, almost like disown their kids.
It's crazy.
So I'm lucky in a sense that my parents are very open-minded and they're quite liberal. Yeah. Especially for being Korean parents. And I think that's partially why they moved. That's another thing though. It surprises me that people that decide to move, like immigrate to a different country, still have that mindset.
No, this is the thing too.
That's
it's like
what's shocking.
You're moving away from your country for multiple reasons. There could be multiple reasons why they want to, but you're moving to another country. And I don't think there's anything wrong, and I think it's actually quite nice if they want to hold on to some of the stuff that was
should, absolutely
like the food and certain customs and everything else. But like to expect your children to, basically act as if they grew up in Korea. Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
So they want the benefits of living in a Western society without actually living in a Western society.
Exactly.
Like they want to live here and have the benefits of living in a Western society, but they don't want. But they still want to keep their Korean like race going. I don't know. It's a very strange thing. Yeah. I'm trying to understand it. I think in some ways I get the sentiment. For example, a lot of Korean parents, they don't speak English, okay, for example. So they don't know how to communicate
That's true.
with their in-laws. And Korean people and other Asian cultures are very big on like the in-laws and everyone being like a family. So they're very like invested in the in-laws, which is kind of messed up already. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, but like that can be very stressful as well, right? So it's not like Western culture where it's like a lot of it is very independent. So if you're married, you don't necessarily have to, I don't know, worry that much about your in-laws. I feel like there is, of course, going to be overlap, but in Korea, like everyone's in everyone's business, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
they be doing their kimchi parties together and everything, right?
Exactly.
The whole family gets together, makes up some kimchi.
So everyone has to get along. Everything has to be perfect. But let's be honest, it's never going to be perfect. Not everyone's going to ever get along.
Yeah.
But they're like, you know, there's going to be a communication gap, right? And
so I could see that part would be a challenge. Definitely.
I get it, but at the same time, it's your kids and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So they should be allowed to date and marry whoever they want. But a lot of Korean parents are not open-minded in that sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my parents are not like that.
Yeah. So what exactly was your dad? What was dad saying?
My parents are almost like extreme on the other end, where they're just like, you know, maybe you shouldn't. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this. Like maybe you shouldn't marry a Korean man or something like that.
But no, the thing is, I don't know, like the way that I look at this, like this situation, obviously my situation is very different in many ways. But also for me, I would be like, I don't care what race or whatever. It's just like if I'm with that person or like I get along. So if you meet an amazing Korean guy, I'm sure obviously your parents would be happy. Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah.
So what they mean by, I'm not saying that they're like anti-Korean.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, you know.
But they see problems within Korean society, right? So there are obviously problems within Korean society and within, like we discussed in the last episode about Japanese culture and how it's similar in that it's like a very traditional culture. Yeah. So a lot of Japanese men have this traditional mindset, and that's the same in Korea. So a lot of Korean men, because they've always been held up as like this, it's like extremely patriarchal society where men have always been held up as, you know, like very high up.
Yeah,
basically.
They're like the gods. They're the breadwinners.
Exactly.
The women that when they get married, they basically own the women. They're like the cleaners.
Yeah, I mean maybe not in that extreme sense, but like it's more subtle, but it definitely is there. Yeah. So I think the patriarchy is there still. So I think that a lot of this is generalization. So a lot of Korean men happen to hold a lot of those still those values, right? And they're still maybe coddled in their family, like who knows. So that's what they mean. Of course, if I meet a Korean man that is, you know, perfect for me and like everything's perfect, they're going to be fine with that. It's not that they have a problem with Korean men. It's that generally the culture, it's going to be harder for me to like, and I don't think that I would necessarily get along with a Korean man that's traditionally from Korea.
No, true.
But anyway, wow, this is a long-winded conversation. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, so then my dad, this is like a few years ago, he was like, you know, I heard that in order to, you know, have, I guess, like the best genes for your, you know, offspring. Yeah.
To have the idea, the concept is about diversification. Yes. Right. And it's about like, you know, they say, for example, like, and this ties in exactly with like Rosa's story, but like, for example, quite often like scientists and stuff will get really, really concerned when a species, a number of when a species of animals gets to a certain number, there's not enough genetic diversity. And what that means is every single species or animal within that species gets too genetically similar, whereby, and we're seeing this actually, a perfect example is the coronavirus, is when a virus comes through, if everybody is very similar genetically, it could wipe out a lot of people very, very quickly, and there's not going to be people that might have a genetic disposition against it. Yeah, so it's the same for animals.
Is that why like genetic diversity is very important?
It's so important. So for example, and it has to do with defects as well. So if everyone's too similar, there'll be birth defects, there'll be species that like, and that's why like some animals, when you interbreed them too much, they like, and you see this with dogs especially.
Oh my God.
So the bred dog,
oh my God, Daniel, the purebred dogs have a lot of problems.
Exactly.
Health problems.
And the reason being is because there's not enough genetic diversity within that species. They bred for a certain trait and they keep breeding.
It's so messed up.
Yeah. And
guys, by the way, do not buy, first of all, don't buy dogs in the first place. Second of all, do not buy specifically purebred dogs, especially pure like English bulldogs. Or are they English bulldogs? Is that what I'm saying? Like those dogs that are, do you know about like the bulldog situation?
No, I don't know about the bulldog situation.
So the bulldogs are the prime example of dogs that have been bred when they should not be bred because they have so many health problems.
Yeah.
And because they are bred for specific traits that are actually really bad for them.
Yeah.
So they don't benefit, but because humans like this certain look. And apparently you get like a certificate if they're like purebred, like bulldogs or something like that.
Okay.
And it's really messed up. Like I saw a documentary about it and it's like so messed up.
But it's a lot. It's not just bulldogs though. It's a lot of purebred dogs.
Absolutely.
Because again, this all comes from genetic diversity. Like this is the key.
That's why mixed dogs are healthier.
Exactly.
And this is the
thing. This is the thing.
So anyway.
So anyway, that's side note. Yeah.
So my dad was like, it's good to have, genetic diversity. He didn't say it in those words, but basically he like he kind of made this up, but also like I get his point.
Yeah.
He basically said, apparently you have to, procreate. You have to be with somebody that's on the opposite side of the globe to you.
Yeah.
And since I'm genetically Korean, obviously it's different because I live in Canada, but genetically I'm Korean.
Yeah.
He's saying that the opposite side of the globe to Korea is Argentina. Oh. And I was like, damn, I don't have a problem with that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I was like, damn. And they already look good because I think they're already quite mixed. You know what I mean?
I think
that European colonialism.
All that. So it was like a mixing pot because this is the thing. I don't know. Obviously I've never been to Argentina. I'm really excited to go and I want to go at some point. But like every single person that I've met from Argentina.
Oh, they are so good looking.
I have yet to meet someone from Argentina that's like not even like even like in the middle. It's like they're just so hot. Like girls, guys, everybody that I've met from Argentina.
They have that mixed look already. It's like they're from the future.
Well, I told you about. I think this was on one of our Patreon exclusives as well.
About some Argentina guy that you dated.
I didn't. Well.
Oh, you were fooling around with.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
God damn. But anyway, that's for. Oh God, I can't believe I said it. This wine.
Oh God damn. Now we be getting a little too up close and personal over here.
I think it's because we're in this setting, so it feels like we're just at home. Well, we are at your house,
guys. You are getting a very intimate experience with us. Okay, I'll be barely wearing any pants. And.
Rose be dressed very conservatively,
just on the top. My shorts are short as hell.
Yeah. But you know how you were saying about how this is kind of like an off topic, but I had a really, really bad experience when I was in Cambodia, whereby you were talking about how like some Korean men hold this certain like traditional values and everything else about like women in some ways. Like they expect to have like a certain qualities in a wife, right?
Yes.
And it was interesting because I also think that some people, they get this like this view. Oh, God damn. Well, thank you.
I'll be giving you some more wine.
God damn.
Keep talking, Daniel.
But some people, they have this like view of like Asians in general, like Asian women, and they want like an Asian woman that's like very docile and very like hey, and just will do everything for them. And I met this guy. So I was in Cambodia. And I was waiting. I was actually going to catch a bus. So I was like about 4 or 5 hours. So I had to catch this bus. And I was in this restaurant by myself, just like eating. Thank you.
Oh, God. Shit. That'd be basically half the bottle.
Yeah, Rose, cheers.
Cheers.
Rose is trying to get me drunk.
Mm-hmm. Cambodia.
Sorry, I'm not Argentinian.
Oh, sorry, you're not straight. God damn.
So I was in I was in this restaurant, and this guy comes in. And actually a really, really attractive guy, like good looking, tall.
In Cambodia?
In Cambodia, yeah.
Was he white?
He was white, yeah.
Okay.
So he came in and he was like, oh, hey, do you mind if I join you? Because there was like no one in the restaurant or whatever else. I was like, of course, like not a problem. And then he like brought this like Cambodian girl with him and also his like tuk-tuk driver or something. So they all sat and joined us at this table. And he basically, you could just tell. So he was from Canada as well. He was from Vancouver.
Right.
And you could just tell that he was like feeling like he was the god, because like obviously the other two were like only really talking when he like gave them time to talk. Like he was like paying for their time and everything else. And then he went off on me, not off on me, but he started like talking to me about how he really doesn't like Canadian girls, like because XYZ.
Because they're too strong, or they're too...
they speak their mind.
Right.
And it was like such an uncomfortable situation because like that Cambodian girl was like right there, and he was just like, yeah, I really want, like I'm here in Cambodia looking for a wife. Blah, blah, blah,
Did
blah,
he say
blah.
that to you? Oh,
and
my
he was like,
God.
I want to meet a nice Cambodian girl that will like, take care of me and blah, 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 blah. And like, and then I was like, yeah, but there's lots of nice girls in Canada. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I just don't really like Canadian girls. And I was thinking, you don't want a relationship. You want like somebody that you can just dominate. You know what I mean? You don't want somebody that, because I don't know, like I want a partnership. Like I don't want to be with somebody that's like, thinking that they own me, or vice versa. Weird. It was honestly one of the most uncomfortable experiences. And I just remember just being like just super, super uncomfortable. I was like, I just want to leave right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he kept going. He said a lot more stuff than that, but that was like the premise of like what he was saying.
That's so messed up.
Yeah. And then it was. That's
the thing. I feel like there are maybe not a lot, but there are some, guys in the Western world that think that, if I go to Asia, I'll meet a nice Asian girl.
Yeah.
That will just listen to everything I say, never argue.
Yeah. And
I'm like, is that really what you want?
Exactly. Well, and in some ways, it's like, is that what you want? You just
maybe that is what they want.
You just want somebody that's just gonna say yes to everything.
Yeah, and never fight
and everything else. And
that's the stereotype too. Like, we don't know that that's what they're gonna do. That's just what they think that they're gonna do as well.
Exactly. There was this I can't remember the TV show, but it was like,
I know is that the one with the guy with the big neck?
No, that's a different one.
What is that show?
90 Day Fiancé.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, I never watched it, but I just kept seeing his like photo and video pop up.
Yeah.
And he has like this giant neck, and I don't want to make fun of his appearance, but oh my god.
Well, the thing that's funny is he's like he was on this show, and I haven't actually seen the show. I just saw like a bunch of it came up on my YouTube feed, and I was like,
so much.
What is this?
And I never actually watched it because I'm like, I don't want to waste my time. Okay, so what happened?
I wasted my time.
I mean, you like to waste your time.
So I was in quarantine. Okay,
that's true.
So basically, like he was meeting this girl from the Philippines that was like 23, really
23.
I think she was like 23 or 24. Yeah.
And how old is he?
He was like in his 50s.
Shut up.
And he goes over there, but he was actually
wasn't her name Rose?
Rose, yeah, Rosalie or something.
Yeah, I just remember seeing her name and I was like, why is my name popping up?
Like, what? I don't remember this. When did this happen? And basically he goes there to like the Philippines. Was it? Yeah, it was the Philippines.
She's from Philippines, I think.
Yeah, she was Filipino. And it was like he was actually quite rude to her though. He was like, for example, they like stayed in this hotel, and he was like, oh, by the way, you really need to like start shaving your legs.
Shut
like
up.
They're like mine. And then she's like, okay, well you shave your beard and I'll shave my legs.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then he was like, also I got you something. I got you a present. And she's like, oh cool. He like opens it up. It was like a toothbrush and toothpaste. He's like, your breath kind of smells bad.
Shut up.
And also it's on national television.
This is probably acting.
Yeah, some of it I think.
Right?
Maybe.
Like that can't be real.
But again, it's like he's going there to meet this girl that's 23 years old to marry, to bring back to the US or whatever. And it's like, what is the foundation of this relationship?
I think they want to feel like they are dominant in the relationship. So a lot of guys, not a lot of guys, some guys, because traditionally a man has to be, the dominant one and in control. And I think that, again, like we discussed in the last episode, with the shift in society and women become more powerful. I think that men kind of feel like a lot of this power has been taken away.
True.
And the only way that they can feel like they are still in control and powerful is being in a relationship where they feel like the man.
True.
And in order to feel like the man, they need to go to, a country where they feel like it's almost not just sexist, but also it feels like classist almost. It's like they have to go to the, the third world country where women are not working and,
But at the same time, and there's a reason for that though too, is because, I mean, not a reason, but like, women that are empowered and working.
Exactly.
They're not going to go
for the big neck Ed or whatever his name is.
Exactly.
No neck Ed. Is that his
name? It was Ed, but
no neck.
Something like this. Yeah. But you're right, because those women, and this again, like, when you empower people and get them out of poverty and everything else, they have, they don't have to. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of dominance in a relationship, but just, there's a time and there's a place.
There's a time and a place.
The bedroom.
Look, I think it's, like I'm not saying that a relationship has to be, both people have to be the same, power structure or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
I think that there is something to say about the yin and the yang, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You gotta have, that there's a reason why people say like, oh, who wears the pants in the relationship? Even though that does sound very like sexist or whatever. But
why does it have to be pants? Why can't it be a dress?
Well, it could be a dress. God damn.
Who wears the dress in the relationship?
Daniel, who wears the dress in your relationship?
I ain't got no relationship to be wearing no dresses in.
Oh God. But I do think that there is something to say about, differences in, even just personalities and power structure and how you deal with, situations. And I think it's important to have a balance of, maybe different energies or whatever.
Definitely.
But just something weird about someone going to another, I don't want to.
It feels a bit like exploitation.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like it does.
Because like, especially if you're going to a country where, you know that people are not very well off.
Yeah.
And they might be wanting to have, a better life for, their family or whatever. And you're just kind of going there and like, do you actually think, like, are they actually falling in love?
Exactly. Well, this is the thing. That's the fundamental of the question. Is this person actually in love with this person? And like with the whole Ed and Rosalie relationship, like I don't know them. I can't speak on their behalf, but like, was that a relationship based on love?
Or was it a television show called 90 Day Fiancé?
Exactly.
Oh, goddamn, you be burping like hell. Anyways, goddamn, we be talking.
It'd be this pizza, it'd be this wine, it'd be everything.
So that was the 90 Day Fiancé talk about exploitative.
I was going somewhere with this. I had another.
We were talking about Argentina. Then we were talking about your Cambodian story. Cambodian story.
Oh God, Argentina though. Oh God, we do need to make a trip there.
Well, I went there briefly when I went to Brazil.
Oh yeah, because I went to the Iguazu Falls or something.
The Foz do Iguazu.
Foz de Iguazu.
Foz do Iguazu. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, I went to the Brazil side and then. Well, I went to the Brazil part of like the city and then they were like, oh, you have to go to the Argentina side. And it's like, you just take a bus there. So I did technically go to Argentina, but I didn't.
So you've touched Argentina. You just touched it.
I love how we're just putting Argentina on this pedestal.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just like our experiences and like, well, not our experiences, but
I don't know if I can actually like, they are beautiful people.
Because I have actually met quite a few Argentinians, like just from traveling, like when I was backpacking.
But I've never become friends. I've never had a friend from Argentina.
True, actually, I haven't either.
Yeah, like I've met people from Argentina, but I've never had a friend from Argentina, so I wouldn't know. Like, obviously, we can't generalize, but
no, of course, we need to. This is the thing.
We should go to Argentina.
I really want to.
For a bit.
Oh God, and live there. God,
oh shit. Oh shit.
Maybe this be the full-time job.
Oh,
we do the podcast. You do your little.
The problem is Argentina is not even that cheap to live in, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I do want to. I just want to go there for a holiday just to see what it's like.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, go to Buenos Aires and go.
It's like a big party place. I remember when I was in Brazil and I was in Rio for Carnival and there was like a big group of like Argentinian guys and like, of course, like most of them were very good looking. Anyways,
of course,
one of them was like talking. He was like, yeah, Buenos Aires is the best city ever, blah, blah, blah. It's like the party scene. I was like, damn, I got to go there.
We got to go there while we're still kind of young and.
Are we still young though?
Relatively young and,
I don't get ID'd no more.
Damn, I don't believe that.
I don't get ID'd
really?
no more.
Oh God damn! It's because all the liquor stores recognize you by now. That's why you don't get ID'd. It's not because you don't look young. It's because everyone recognizes you. It's the hair rose. It's a beacon. Like, yep, she's been in here before.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Actually,
so
speaking of this, so this is actually quite a funny story. I can't remember if I've said this on the podcast. I know I've told you before, but I remember. So like, obviously in Calgary, the drinking age is 18. And I remember, so I just turned 18 and my mom was like, oh my God, Daniel, like you can go to the liquor store now. Like, I'm going to just take you and like get yourself a bottle of wine or something and like whatever. So I was like super excited, like 18 years old. And so we went to the liquor store and I went to the counter, the cashier, and scanned the wine and said, okay, it's $20 or whatever it was. And then my mom's like to the cashier, well, hang on a second. Are you not going to ID him? Like, and then and I literally had never been in this store before in my life. The cashier turns to my mom, like doesn't bat an eyelash and says, no, he's a regular in here. I was like.
And then your mom freaked out.
Yeah.
Did she freak out?
She was pretty mad.
What did she say?
She was like, what? So she was like, oh, okay. We paid for the wine and then we left. And I just remember her being like, what is going on? Like, what are you talking about? Like, why did he just say you're
like,
regular?
Mom!
I was like, I swear I've never been. This is literally the first time I've ever been in this liquor store.
That is so funny.
But like the way the cashier just like so calmly like did it and was like, oh yeah, no, he's.
It was like so obvious. Like it was like basically she knows you.
Yeah, but it's weird. Like I think that this is like a bit. I don't know if I've told you this, but I think that I have a doppelganger in the city. Because and the only reason is this has happened a few times. So I had this incident at the liquor store, and then later on in life, like maybe it was like 4 or 5 years later, for like a year or two, I had so many encounters with WestJet employees. So like there was a few times I was flying WestJet and people would be like, oh, are you using your buddy pass or whatever? I was like, what are you talking about? Like it was weird. And
someone that works at WestJet looks like you, basically.
Yeah. And then I had another instance when I was at West, when it used to be, it's not like national.
Some kind of club?
Yeah. So it's now National Rooftop, but it was West in the past. And I had somebody come up to me and be like, oh my God, how are you? And I was like,
I mean, not to rain on your parade, Daniel, but you be a basic looking white boy. A very hot, basic white boy.
Rose, you're so mean to me.
But you be basic as hell.
God damn.
I don't know. I mean, you just be looking like a good-looking white boy.
A backstreet boy back in my younger days. But yeah, I just remember them being like, "Oh my God, how are you? Like, how are things going at WestJet?" And
I was like, so funny.
Like,
you must look exactly like one of the WestJet employees.
Exactly. It was so weird. So I do feel like maybe somewhere in this city, maybe he's moved. I don't know. But
maybe you've got 15 doppelgangers because there'd be some basic ass looking white boys.
We'd be running around everywhere, scaring people, drinking too much.
Basic white boys be everywhere. Oh my, that is so funny.
Yeah, honestly.
He's a regular here.
Oh God. And I can't think of anything worse. Like obviously like you go with your mom or dad to like the liquor store and like it's the first time or whatever, and then your parents or like the cashier doing that. And then I just
what did you say?
I was like to my mom, I was like, I've never been that. Blah, blah, blah. Why would the cashier say that then? I said, I don't know why he said that. Like, fuck. I almost wanted to go back in there and be like, thanks a lot, man. Like, I just turned 18.
Funny. Oh my God.
It was like so bad. I just remember that experience of just being
and
like,
you looked young at that time.
Oh my God.
Too.
So like I know I definitely look my age, but like back then, I remember when I was like 18, 19, 20, I looked young. I had such a baby face.
Oh my God.
And like, yeah, I was just, oh God.
It's so funny.
Yeah. But to be fair, I don't think that they're like the best at, well, I mean, I think they've gotten better at IDing and stuff, but I remember when I was.
You mean the liquor stores?
No, like bars and stuff.
Right.
Because I remember when I was like 17.
Yeah.
I did go to a few places.
Oh, like a bar.
Yeah. Not like a bar, but like, you know, like a lot of those restaurants would have like a bar section.
Oh, right.
And had drinks in there.
See, it's funny because I remember when I was in like high school, like the last year of high school.
Yeah.
I'm older than all my friends because I moved here when I was in grade 2 or like when I was 8.
Yeah.
And my parents put me like a grade lower so I could like catch up and stuff.
Yeah.
Not necessary, by the way. Okay. Yeah. But anyway.
Rose be smart as hell. I always tell her that she's not just a ridiculously gorgeous face, you know? She got brains too.
Oh God damn.
For the 9% of men that are watching this channel.
I'll pay you later, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Dan will be my PR person.
God damn.
Anyway, so I was held back a grade, I guess you could say. So I went into grade 2 when I could have gone into grade 3.
Yeah.
So all my friends are like a year younger than me, and I remember in high school. So I turned 18 in high school before everyone else. Yeah. So I turned 18 in October, and then there was still like months of high school left, and so I could go to the bar. But a lot of my friends could not go. So a lot of my friends had, one of my friends had a fake ID.
Yeah.
Well, some of my friends had fake IDs. And I remember one of them, I don't think she had at this time, maybe she didn't have a fake ID, but she had someone else's ID. She was like another like Asian girl. Yeah, like it wasn't her sister, but it was like another girl that kind of looked like her, but like not really.
Yeah.
And like, she would get into some places with this. But I remember we went to Boston Pizza one time. And Boston Pizza has like one section that's like the restaurant that like anyone can go to.
Yeah.
And then there's another section that's like the lounge.
Yeah.
So then I went in, obviously I have my ID and I'm 18. I showed my ID, and then my friend shows her ID, which is not her ID. It's like someone else's ID. And then the server is just like, looks at it and she goes, "This isn't you." And it was the most awkward moment.
I couldn't
imagine. I was just like, I was mortified myself.
Yeah.
And then my friend was like, "It is me." It's like, "This is me." And she's like, "I know that this isn't you. So I'm going to walk away and you guys better leave now."
Oh my God.
It was serious. And we're like, "Oh God, let's go." Yeah. And then another time, this story is funny. So one time I was 18 and then my friend was like 17 and we were trying to get into this club. Would never remember the name of this club. Yeah. Anyways, I remember I was like dating some guy at this time. And I went with my friend and like maybe a bunch of her friends. I can't remember. But I remember I was with my friend and I was with the guy that I was dating. And the guy that I was like dating at this time was like a couple years older than me. Maybe he was like 20 something.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were trying to get into this club. And I remember the, obviously the bouncer's checking ID, at the front door. And she had her older sister's ID. Okay. And they look quite similar.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. She had her older sister's ID. And then the bouncer looks at it and goes, "I know this is not you." And then, of course, again, she's like, trying to be like, "No, it is me. It's me."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I know it's not you." And then I can't remember exactly what happened.
Was her sister there?
She was there.
I remember you telling me this story.
Her sister was actually in the club at that time. Yeah. So then we had to bribe the bouncer. I remember she had to bribe the bouncer and like give him money to get in. And I remember the guy that I was like seeing at the time was like mortified. Yeah. He was like, fuck my life. Yeah. He's like, why am I dating this like child?
You know, the funny thing is though, like looking back, I'm like, it's so funny because like I also like when I was like 17, I didn't get a fake ID or anything, but like I did try to like, go into a few pubs and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, okay, what is the rush? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what? We turned 18 and then it opened up to us and we can do whatever. So I just don't like, I get it more in the States because you have to wait till 21.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
You're like in university in the States and you can't go to the bars.
It's ridiculous.
You can vote, but you can't go to the bars.
You can vote for the future of your country. You can buy a gun.
Exactly.
Before the age of you can drink a beer. Like what?
It's so.
And I feel like it's so counterproductive because again, because of the fact that you know it's illegal, you almost want to do it more, right?
But this is the thing. It's quite interesting because they I could be like off base a little bit, but I do feel like, you know, for countries like in Europe and stuff like Italy and Spain,
they don't care.
They don't care so much, and they start drinking like a little bit younger, and you know, but it's not. There's not as big of like. It's not as highly regulated, I feel like there. Like whereas here it's like super highly regulated. And actually, where are all the binge drinkers? They're like Canadians, Australians, British, and the US. Yeah. Like we're like notoriously known. Maybe not Canada as much, but we definitely have. Yeah,
Canada for sure has a problem as well.
And a part of it is like there's been this like whole stigma created about it. This like whole like super strict like you know.
But it's like so.
Pardon me, goddamn, as I'm like drinking my wine here.
Yeah,
you know?
It's so unnecessary, and it's like, it's almost like again, if you tell kids that you can't drink until you're 18,
they want to do it.
It's like as soon as they can drink, first of all, they're gonna go crazy, and even before they can drink, they're gonna want to drink.
Exactly.
And it's like, is it really that big of a deal? Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I think there's something to say about allowing your kids to like, you know, have a beer. Like for example, like if I had kids, I don't know. I mean, I think it's allowed if you have your own kids and you let them have a beer in your home.
Yeah, this is the thing. But I think that is allowed. Like you're allowed to like.
It should be allowed.
Yeah, like because like also like let's say you're having a nice dinner and you want to have like you want to share a bottle of wine with the family and your kid's like 14, 15 is like okay, you know,
and they'll get accustomed to it and then they'll learn. The thing is like when you're 18, like you and I both, like we did not know how to control our alcohol.
I mean, we're bad now, but we were worse then. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. Like I actually did not know how to know when I was drunk enough or you know whatever.
We were because I know I'm still kind of I'm not.
You're definitely still like.
But I'm not as. I was nowhere near as bad as when I was 18, 19. When I was that young,
hope you're
honestly,
not that bad.
God. And I look back to our uni days, and I'm just like I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but like from the God, all the parties and all the drinking, I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah, like seriously.
You know? But you know, it's all part of it's
we're
all
back.
part of the
We
laugh.
still be alcoholic as hell.
Well, no, we're drinking responsibly. We're sharing a nice, classy bottle of wine after some pizza,
and then we're gonna have some more vodka after.
But
yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I think, I like the European culture of like, just kind of, you know, being a little bit nonchalant about it, not making a big deal.
And this is the thing that I'm going to really miss, especially living in Spain. Yeah. Like one of the things I loved in Spain is like, and I just feel like Canada, like it just doesn't, and even the UK had it slightly, but just nowhere near this like sense of like these communal spaces and communal like where they'd have like obviously like restaurants and bars and everything in like a big square and there'd be lots of seats everywhere and people just like hanging out. Yeah. Like you'd have like the grandparents down there. Everyone would be in this plaza and it's just so nice. Like, cause I was living in a small city in Spain. Like it was smaller than Calgary and yet the city, the main area of the city where I was living, it had so much life. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you walk around in Calgary and some of the streets are barren, you know, like where is everyone? And it's a big city. Whereas there it was like so vibrant and there's always like someone sitting there at the cafe outside having a coffee and there's people there and I know, you know, I love that. Like that is the one really hard thing about like coming back here. It's like
you were literally back for like a week, but okay.
No, I know.
But how you gonna survive?
I'm gonna make my own communities, you know.
Where are you gonna make the communities?
In my back garden.
In your back garden.
No, but like one of the
I know that is definitely one thing that
but even okay, so I've only been back for a week or out of quarantine for a week, and I feel like I've already discovered some places in Calgary that I didn't even know existed. So one of my friends took me for we went for a walk on one of the days. It was really beautiful. And it was in this park in the Northwest called Beaumont Park.
Yes, I think I've been there, I've
never been there
before.
Beaumont?
Yes.
I've been
Beaumont is really nice.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never been here before in my life. So
there's a lot of nice parks. The one thing good about here is that the nature is unbeatable. It is so nice. Like
100%.
There's so many places to walk. There's so many amazing, beautiful locations. And even just like because like we've been here for a very long time. Like my family has been here for over 20 years. And because like Nari likes, like my dog, Nari likes to like walk, and she loves exploring, and she's like, I don't know, she has like endless energy. Yeah. So my parents like take her to like different places, and they'll walk in Nose Hill. Like Nose Hill is like this giant park. Yeah, huge. It's like I think it's like the 4th largest or some kind, like a very large park.
Yeah, it's the biggest in the city.
Oh, it's for sure the biggest in the city. I think it's the 4th largest maybe in like Canada or something like that. Like it's insane. It's huge. And so you can like walk there with your dog, like off leash, and it's awesome. And then there's like all these different parks with like, and I didn't even know existed either. Yeah. Like I went there and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know this was a thing.
This is the thing. Speaking of Nose Hill, I also didn't realize. Well, I knew already. My parents live like quite close. Yeah. But I was just like went for a walk on my very first day out of quarantine. I was like, I'm gonna go for a little walk.
It's so nice.
And it's like 10-minute walk, and I'm in Nose Hill.
And it's endless.
And it's like
you could walk for hours.
Exactly.
Like you could literally walk for
I
like
walked up the
4
hill
hours.
And I like saw a good view of the city. And I was like,
did you see any animals there?
No.
You know, there's deer. There's coyotes. There's porcupines.
Is there porcupines?
We saw a porcupine. Oh my god! One time we were walking because like Nose Hill's kind of like open field. Yeah. But there are parts where it's like a forest. Yeah. So there's like trees and stuff in
like a shrubbery
parts.
almost. Yeah.
So like because like it's off leash, we're just like walking, and then one time I was like there with my parents, and we walked through this like forest tree area, and I remember because Nari's off leash, and all of a sudden she just like starts sniffing, and she starts like really focusing on this like one area, and we're like, what's going on, right? Yeah. And then we realize there's like, because we're trying to get her to come over, but she's not coming. She's not listening at this point. And we realized there was a porcupine there, and we freaked out. God. We're like, oh my god! Yeah. And then I don't know what we did, but basically we like somehow got her on the leash because we like got close and we got her on the leash, and then the porcupine like walked up the tree. And like this thing was huge, man. It was like
they're big. They're big. So I had a really funny story. So because we live really close to Nose Hill. Yeah. And like from my parents' house, like just behind my parents' house is like this place called Eggert's Park. Okay. Which is like a little, almost like a walkway that goes straight to Nose Hill. It's like a park. It's so nice. A park within a park. Yeah. Yeah. So you can walk through Eggert's Park straight into Nose Hill. Yeah. And it's like a 10-minute walk. So it's super close. Yeah. So we get a lot of animals actually in our area. So basically, So my dad, he was like sitting on the front deck. And you can't really see somebody walking from the side of our house just the way that it is. And he's just sitting there having his coffee, just chilling. It was in the morning, like 6 a.m. or something. And all of a sudden, a porcupine just like walks right in front of it, or in front of him, in front of our house. And my dad was like, oh, because it was so early as well. He's like, oh my God.
He's like barely awake.
Yeah. So we had that happen.
That is so funny.
Yeah, and then there was another time, and I think it was my dad again, because he likes to have his coffee in the front of the house. Oh yeah. And there were skunks. Oh shit. We had a couple skunks like run by. My dad was like, oh my God. Out. So now I think he started having his coffee on top of the deck now instead of on the stairs because of all of these like wildlife.
Oh my God.
And this happened to one of my friends too. Like she had a house where she was renting a place close by where I live with my parents. And because I think a lot of animals, they'll come from Nose Hill and somehow find their way down there. Yeah. And she went out into her backyard to have like a smoke or something. Yeah. And as she's like there, it's like in the morning or something. And all of a sudden, maybe morning or night, I can't remember. But she couldn't see that well. And there was a skunk right there. And she's my. She like backed up slowly. I didn't know there were so many
skunks.
Yeah. She's like backed up slowly, opened her door and like closed it. I was like, oh God. Because you don't get sprayed.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Do they spray when they're scared?
Yeah. So basically, I think it's more of like it's a scare kind of like, as long as you leave them alone, I think they'll just like do their own thing. But if you startle them and you jump them, they get really, really freaked out. And it's like a defense mechanism where they'll spray you this horrible
so that you
sting.
Go away. Yeah.
That's why a lot of dogs get sprayed.
Oh, because dogs are crazy and they'll just go up to
exactly. They'll like freak them out and then they're like, no. And then.
Oh, I think Nari got sprayed with a skunk once. Well, I don't know because my parents, I remember.
Oh, you would know because the smell.
Yeah, because my parents basically one time I went over and they said that my mom was like, yeah, yesterday Nari for some reason stank so bad. And she's like, I can't explain what it was. Yeah. So we had to give her a bath because she stank so bad. And I was like, it must have been a skunk because that makes no sense otherwise.
That's true. Yeah. Like why?
It's like she would be dirty otherwise, right? If she rolled around in something, but she was like not dirty. Yeah. I was like, it must have been a skunk.
But I heard it's hard to get the smell out though too.
I mean, maybe it wasn't a skunk, but I thought my guess was that it was a skunk. Well, last time I went for a walk with Nari, there was a goddamn snake.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. We were walking. Me and my mom were walking. So there's this like dog park area.
Yeah.
Where there's this like off-leash dog park that's fenced in, and then you go like there's like a trail outside of it.
Yeah.
So we usually go to the dog park, let her run around for a bit, and then there's like a trail that we could walk, and then there's like a little swamp. I don't know if it's a swamp, but there's like some water and stuff, and then you can also take your dog off leash in certain areas in there.
Yeah.
It's a really nice area. Maybe it's next to Boness. Do you know?
So, I'm thinking it's Edworthy Park.
No, it's not Edworthy Park. It's definitely not. Anyway, but either way.
Oh no, that's Beaumont. That's the one with the swamp and stuff.
Oh yeah, maybe we went to the same place. Maybe.
And they have like a big area of water where there's like this big ring of like a circle.
Yeah. So
yeah, something
maybe
like
we're in the same park.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, in that area, like because I guess there's some water, and then we were walking, and all of a sudden, I don't notice anything ever.
Yeah.
And then my mom's like, "Rah!" She like screamed, and I was like, "What?" And then I saw like a little snake like.
Oh god damn.
Yeah, I didn't even know that we had snakes in this city.
No, I'm sure. I didn't know we had a few, but
we got some wildlife over here.
We got wildlife coming out the yin yang.
And we got tons of rabbits around my neighborhood, my parents' neighborhood. Rabbits everywhere.
Yeah, we have rabbits.
And Nari, every time she sees a rabbit, tries to chase them.
Oh god.
I'm like, girl, you've never chased one. You've never actually caught one. Stop.
Yeah. What are you doing? You know that's not going to happen.
But she freaks out when she sees a goddamn rabbit.
More than usual. More than her usual.
Yes.
Like,
she's already freaking out about random shit. But when she sees a rabbit, it's like she thinks she's going to chase them down.
But this for me, like I'm excited about being back in Calgary and exploring these parks. And this is what I want to do while I'm here is do more of this kind of stuff. You know, like
we should go camping.
I want to go camping. Go to we're like literally you can see the mountains on a good day from Rose's apartment. So
it's so nice.
Yeah, like this is the stuff like yes, we don't have the plazas and the things that I'm going to miss in Europe, but we have other stuff that especially while I'm here, I need to make. What do you
mean while you're here?
Well, while I'm still on this planet living in Calgary, you know, god damn.
I think Daniel's thinking about leaving again.
I'm not. I'm going to be here for a while. I'm planning to settle down here. Maybe have some little Daniels running around, you know?
I want some little Daniels running around.
They'd be cute as hell.
They'd be cute as hell.
I was a cute baby, believe it or not.
I believe it.
I had them real chubby cheeks. I was like,
did you?
Yeah. Like super
Daniel, you have the red cheeks too.
I know. I've always someone asked me. I was telling you about how like, I used to get asked like I worked at a restaurant when I was going through uni and stuff, and I'd always get asked, like not always but quite a few times, like, oh, are you wearing makeup? Like, no, my cheeks are just always red. Like, leave me alone.
No, but I do remember when you were, when you were in university, your cheeks were extra red. Like, they were not, they're less red now, I think.
They've calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, but like in university, you definitely had like redder cheeks.
But also in the winter, I think it gets worse because it's cold. So wait till the winter comes around and you're gonna see rosy cheeks like crazy. But I heard it's like actually like it's a skin, not skin condition, but it's like it means like the capillaries to the surface of my skin are like burst. Or something. I don't actually know.
Is it the same as like rosacea?
Yes, that's rosacea.
Is it rosacea?
Yeah, it's rosacea because your cheeks are just always red, and then obviously like now it's getting even redder because I'm getting a lot of like blood flow to this area.
That's why I was saying it's funny because I'm Asian and a lot of Asians get the Asian glow.
Yeah.
And I actually don't get. Do I look red?
No, you never.
Yeah, I don't get red.
I don't think I've ever like. I don't think
sometimes there has been like one time where I was like, holy, I kind of look red.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really get red, which is funny because Daniel always gets red.
I always get red, like super red. And I'm like, oh God. So you always know, like, especially if I'm at a house party or something or out, people are like, oh, Daniel's
been having a few drinks.
Daniel's drunk. He be getting a red neck, red cheeks,
but you know,
red
some people get red after like one sip.
Yeah,
like
true.
And well, I know that like I got my mom's gene in that my mom doesn't get red when she drinks, whereas my dad gets red when he drinks. And I did not get that gene.
Yeah.
I got one good gene passed down from my parents. I always joke around. I'm like, I only get the bad stuff from you.
Oh God. But what I was gonna say, so I think some things that we've discovered from this podcast is we need to take a trip to Argentina. Okay, that means there's a few trips that we need to do. We're like talking about all these trips like when the lockdown was like when it was over. So
oh my God. Some
little ones that I want to do, but I want to do some like vegan food tours of Canada.
Yes.
So like go to Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and do like little weekend getaways. But the big ones that I want to do, so there's a couple. So there was 3. I can't remember what my third country was. 2 of them were aligned with yous, and one of them
like what?
So one of them was Argentina. The other one was Korea.
Oh goddamn!
And then I can't remember the other one. Maybe Japan.
I'd be down for Japan.
I can't remember. You be a carnivorous woman in Japan. But yeah, so we're gonna hopefully in the new year. Yeah. Once I'm employed, we'll do some trips.
Oh God!
I'd be excited as hell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did want to ask though. Yeah. As we were talking about, the direction of this podcast.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to know because like we feel like Daniel and I, we feel like maybe we need more of a niche.
Yeah.
And a specific kind of category of which our podcast belongs. Because obviously we just kind of talk about random shit, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And like that's fantastic, but also. From a business standpoint and from a standpoint of wanting to grow as a podcast,
exactly,
it might not be the smartest idea to be all over the place.
Exactly.
So we want to know what you guys think is our kind of strength in what we talk about.
What are like if you what are some of like the kind of more niche episodes or topics that you guys really, really enjoy that we talk about that we could potentially like focus on more? I mean, because obviously right now it has been very current events, what's been going on, that kind of stuff. Also our life updates, everything else. But yeah, we want to know from you guys as well, what direction would you like to see this podcast go?
Yeah. Like where do you see us if you were to categorize us, or if you would like to categorize us in a certain way? Where would you categorize us at, or what would you categorize us as?
Yeah.
I'm leaning toward, I like this concept of like modern topics, current events.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if that's even niche,
Well,
it's not really, because we're not reporting on the news.
No, we're just commenting on it.
Yeah.
But
we could be social commentators.
Yeah, this is the thing. So like, for example, I know just from...
I like that. Social commentators.
Exactly. I also like the idea though. And I don't know if we'd be able to... I think there's already a lot of podcasts. There's probably a lot about it. But I also like talking about dating as well, because it's just so funny. But then I don't know if it would be like a good thing to have the whole podcast about dating.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I could do... Unless we want to talk about our own dating lives, which I don't think we want to get into that much detail. No.
No.
So
some stuff we like to keep a little bit private. Sorry, guys.
And I don't want to talk about like if I go on dates, I don't want to talk about that. I think that's,
exactly. No, that's a bit.
It's a privacy issue.
No, that's true.
And but yeah, like modern social commentary. I like that. But also, is that even niche? And I was thinking maybe like 30 something, like something about being in your like 30 is the new 20 type of concept.
Laugh in your 30s.
God damn, I don't feel like I'm in my 30s.
I know, me neither. This is the thing. We're now cracked into the 30s.
God damn, we're like we can't even pretend to be in our 20s anymore.
I know. I stopped getting away with that 2 years ago. Okay. When I turned 30, people knew I was 30. Okay. Okay. We're gonna brainstorm as well.
We're gonna brainstorm, but let us know, guys, what you think.
We really appreciate all the feedback and all the comments that we get from you guys, and we've also recently had some really nice emails. So
we're really enjoying what we're doing, and we want to see it, expanded to more people.
We want to grow and flourish, right?
Exactly.
So we want to kind of figure out
where we fit in this podcast world.
Exactly.
Anyways, guys, okay, we will let you go as we finish our wine.
And then maybe head out for a few more drinks.
Oh, God damn, Daniel, you'd be crazy as hell.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know. God damn.
We'll see.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you once again for tuning in to the SaVeg Podcast. If you aren't already, subscribe to us on YouTube at the SaVeg Podcast, or follow us on Instagram as well.
Support us on Patreon if you can. Yeah,
if you can. And on Patreon, you get every episode a week early. Also, we have some exclusive Patreon exclusive episodes. So we do that once a month. We do a Patreon episode,
a bonus episode.
Yeah, a bonus one. Yeah,
y'all don't want to miss that because we get a little bit more personal over there.
Usually sometimes that's after 2 bottles of wine.
Oh God. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Love you. Bye.